Let's keep going. One of the most frustrating things in these debates is how quickly we forget what science actually is. It's not a belief system. It's not hierarchy. It's not a club for people who memorize formulas. It's a process, a messy, often uncertain process of testing ideas, of proving and disproving. And yes, sometimes being wrong. You want to tell someone that the earth is round? Fine, but don't do it with smugness. Do it with evidence. Show them the curvature, not with edited footage, but with real, raw, reproducible data. And when they still have doubts, don't shame them, educate them, engage with them. Because if your only defense is you're an idiot, then you have already lost the argument. Let me offer some perspective here. Gravity isn't the same on every planet. You weigh different on Mars, you would actually weigh less. Your bones would deteriorate differently on the moon. Your perception of time would shift near a black hole. These are not hypotheticals. They are proven consequences of general relativity. So why are we expecting every human to understand that without deep exposure? You're asking people to believe in the double slit experiment that particles behave differently when observed. You're asking them to believe in gravitational lensing where massive objects literally bend space. You're asking them to accept the idea that two particles across the universe can be entangled and influence each other instantly. And you don't think that sounds like science fiction. The problem is people forget this is everyone's first time being alive. And no one on earth, not a single person, has ever lived the exact human experience before. So why are we mocking people for trying to figure it out? Flat Earth believers at their best are not just pushing conspiracy, they're confronting the fact that reality is interpretative. They're asking why they should believe things that they've never seen. And we respond with arrogance instead of transparency. I mean, what is science without the freedom to question? What is it without the humility to admit that not all knowledge is equally accessible? Let's be honest, the average person doesn't have a lab. They don't have the budget for a particle detectors or the clearance for International Space Station's footage. They have YouTube, home experiments, archived documents, and common sense. That's it. So if they see a NASA photo that looks CGI rendered and they ask why, that's not stupidity. That's pattern recognition. That's visual skepticism. That's exactly what we're taught to do in the scientific fields. The only reason some of us accept certain scientific facts is because someone else told us it was true. But if we're honest, most of us are not equipped to test those claims ourselves. You ever launched a satellite? You ever measured the Earth's curvature over hundreds of miles? No, you took someone's word for it, and that's fine. But you don't get to call someone crazy just because they want to take fewer things on faith. At one point, Einstein was even dismissed too. He proposed that time isn't a constant, that it bends around gravity and light has a speed limit. He didn't film it. He didn't observe it in real time. He mathed it. And his equations were so convincing that others began to test them. That's what a theory is. And no one should ever have to apologize from starting with one. You want to know the real hypocrisy? When someone says, if you can Photoshop an image of Earth into any shape, why would I believe that the Earth is a sphere? And instead of answering, we call them a lunatic. We could have explained photogrammetry, satellite optics, and gravitational modeling, but instead we default to mockery. This is not science. That is an ego. So no, I am not a flat earther, but I am a realist. I am someone who knows that progress depends on a challenge. and to be challenged. That revolutions in science only happen because someone dared to say, I don't believe you. And instead of punishing that mindset, we should protect it. Because the moment you stop asking questions is the moment you stop doing science.